My dear friends, welcome to Uncaged Zoo Tours. If you are new to the channel and love animals, I recommend and appreciate hitting the like and subscribe buttons and the bell icon to join me on my tours. I love visiting zoos, and our adventure awaits. Welcome to Omaha's Henry Dorley Zoo in Omaha, Nebraska. This zoo has been around since 1894 and has changed a lot in the past century. It is home to an insectarium, an award-winning sea lion complex, and one of the best indoor rainforests in the world. There's also a massive African section that has a growing elephant family, an aquarium with all sorts of wonders, an Asian section themed to the continent's mountains and plains, and a very iconic indoor desert that will blow you away. But another wonder this famous zoo has is the world's largest nocturnal exhibit, Kingdoms of the Night. Ever since it opened in 2003, Kingdoms of the Night has showcased some of the coolest and not so creepiest animals that come out at night. We'll learn how these creatures spend their time at night, how they stand out from other animals, and even meet some surprises that will make your day so much better. Let's begin. Kingdoms of the Night is located underneath the Desert Dome. Not to mention, it's dark. The first exhibit contains a bunch of cute naked mole rats, and their much larger neighbor, the fossa. Fossas are cathemeral, a fancy way of saying that they come out during the day and night, with naps in between. One of the most important forms of communication for the fossa is scent. Male and females will scent during the breeding season. Some zoos try to mimic this by filling a cardboard box with a unique scent and giving it to the fossa to play with. Also from Africa is a spring hare, which I will get to in a minute, and a potto. Unlike the fossa, pottos can freeze in place for hours. And as I mentioned in my Night Hunters at the Cincinnati Zoo Tour, pottos can also bite predators with their painful saliva. There are also some smaller animals that come out at night, like green tree pythons and magnificent tree frogs. I think these frogs get their name from their bitter-tasting poison sac at the back of their head. They use it to defend themselves against predators, and it's the largest poison gland of any Australian amphibian. Next to the Jamaican boa are two types of geckos. Lined leaf geckos and Henkel's leaf-tailed geckos don't have eyelids. Geckos use their electrostatic toe pads on each of their feet to climb glass and stick to other surfaces. They can bend their toes backwards to let go of the surface they are clinging onto and lift each of their little legs to move. I would love to thank the Crab Brothers for teaching me so much about geckos. Past the Mexican leaf frog, Togo slippery frog, and Haitian boa is a really cool mixed species habitat. Let's start with the spring hare. Spring hares look like a rabbit mixed with a kangaroo, but they're rodents. They live in southern Africa and can jump up to 6 feet in the air. Spring hares also have a flap of skin near their ear that closes to prevent sand from getting into their ear. They have also been seen doing biofluorescence, which means their fur can absorb short wavelengths of light and reflect it as longer wavelengths of light. There's also our first brush-tailed porcupine, who, like their crested porcupine cousins, improve the health of the soil by creating channels for running water. Even though they don't live in Africa, this two-toed sloth is happy to have company in this exhibit. I mean, I was really lucky to see it move around. The reason why sloths are slow is because of their low-calorie diet, which consists of leaves. Next door is an aardvark, and although their name means earth pig, they are more closely related to elephants. Their claws are as strong as a pickaxe, and when digging, they use their front feet to scoop dirt, their back feet to clear it away, and their tail for smoothing the dirt out. When we visit Africa Rocks at the San Diego Zoo, you'll see an aardvark getting fed by yours truly. And how could I forget the northern greater galago? Galagos, also known as greater bush babies, can eat tree gum, which is hard to digest. but their digestive system has a special bacteria that can break it down. Galagos are also known as nagapais, which is an African word that translates to night monkeys, even though these guys are prosimians. The next couple of exhibits are themed to a new habitat on my tours, caves. As rainwater seeps through the soil, it becomes more acidic and dissolves rock to form a network of underground passages. This process widens passages over thousands of years and creates caves. They may look empty, but if you look carefully, you'll find lots of animals like these Seba's short-tailed bats. Weighing less than half an ounce, Seba's short-tailed bats roost together in colonies with up to 100 individuals. They play a big role as pollinators and seed dispersers, as they can eat hundreds of seeds in a single night. Speaking of bats, next door to these Lake Titicaca frogs are some very misunderstood vampire bats. Unlike other bats, vampire bats drink blood and are the only mammals to do so. Vampire bats have heat-sensing organs on their nose that allows them to find warm-blooded animals. I mentioned in my Night Hunters at the Cincinnati Zoo tour that vampire bats hunt mainly livestock, such as cattle. They make a small bite that doesn't hurt their prey and then lap up the blood with their tongues. However, the bat's tongue is grooved like a quarter, and they can drink 2 teaspoons of blood in 20 minutes, which is enough to satisfy the bat for the next 2 days. Vampire bats also have fewer teeth than most bats because they do not chew their food. Nocturnal animals also have other ways to survive. For example, the banded knob-tailed gecko can drop its tail to escape predators, but don't worry, it will grow back. The next exhibit contains a prehensile-tailed porcupine, screaming hairy armadillos, and 3 banded armadillos. True to their name, screaming hairy armadillos scream when threatened, while the 3 banded armadillo prefers to roll up in a ball. But both species are covered in bony armor, and there are 20 different species of armadillos. The next couple of exhibits contain animals from Australia. And now, ladies and gentlemen, living with these Tamar wallabies is Casper, the short-beaked echidna. Along with the platypus, they're monotremes, the only group of mammals that lay eggs. Although echidnas mainly live on land, they also love to swim in the water, and their body is very spiky. The spikes are made of keratin, the same material as our hair and fingernails, and help defend the echidna against a hungry dingo. Sometimes, echidnas might dig into the dirt until only their spines are sticking out of the ground. An echidna's hind legs point backward, and they also have a long claw that helps them dig and serves as a built-in back scratcher. An echidna's ears are just tiny little slits behind its eyes, but it does have a great sense of hearing. Scientists have so many questions to answer about echidnas, including how long is their lifespan and what the relationship between a mother and its baby, which is called a puggle, is like. Like their platypus cousins, echidnas use electroreception to look for food. Both male and female echidnas have a pouch like a kangaroo, which can make it difficult to tell them apart. Across from the echidna is a freshwater crocodile, who has a special form of walking called a high walk. They push themselves up so most of their body and tail don't touch the ground. There are also more vampire bats, long-haired fruit bats, greater speared nose bats, greater bulldog bats, and Indian flying foxes, which live in the next couple of exhibits. All these bats I just mentioned are just some of the 1,300 known bat species in the world. Bats are the only group of mammals that can fly. Bat wings are like hands with thin skin attached to them so they can fly. Many bat species are nocturnal to avoid daytime predators, and some use echolocation to locate their prey and navigate in the dark. Bats create high-pitched sounds that bounce off of objects. They hear the reflected sounds with their ears, allowing them to figure out where the object is. The remaining few exhibits are part of the swamp, which is also the world's largest indoor swamp. There is a tiger salamander and a corn snake, but there's also the iconic American alligator. Alligators aren't slow creatures, as they can run up to 35 miles per hour on land and 20 miles per hour in the water. Alligators bask in the sun because they're cold-blooded like other reptiles, and will only be active once they are warm enough. However, it can get really dry in Florida, so gators dig pools called alligator holes with their claws and tails to avoid the heat. It's also a great way to attract thirsty prey for an ambush. The Henry Dorley Zoo has 10 alligators, including a leucistic one named Thibodox. A few months ago, the zoo's veterinarians learned that Thibodox swallowed $7 worth of American coins. They used a pipe to protect the alligator's mouth and used various tools to remove the coins from his stomach. Thankfully, all the coins were removed and Thibodox was returned to his habitat. To everyone watching this video, please do not throw coins into any open air exhibits because they can cause serious problems to an animal's health. Anyways, the alligators are neighbors with a family of American beavers. Light levels in a beaver's lodge and underwater remain very low, so beavers are mostly nocturnal. Beavers can stay underwater for 6 to 8 minutes thanks to their large lungs, but are very clumsy on land. Beavers build canals to the best food sources to make it easier to get food back home. When a beaver builds a lodge, they float small trees and branches through the canals to the stream where they are building the lodge. A lodge has several underwater entrances to keep most predators out, and a large dry room inside that is used as a nursery and haven. During the winter, beavers spend most of their time in the lodge because it's nice and warm. Following this, American bullfrog and eastern indigo snake is a spectacle caiman. Like their alligator cousins, caimans live in fresh water. There are 6 species in total, and they can be bigger or smaller than an American alligator, but it depends on the species. Because they can't chew, caimans have to swallow their food whole. If the prey is too big, caimans will have to wait for the prey to decay before eating it. A caiman's ears are located behind their eyes, and they can hear things that humans can't. The final exhibit in Kingdoms of the Night contains alligator snapping turtles and an American crocodile. These crocodiles live from the southern range of Florida to the coast of Central and South America. They mostly eat fish and have a long V-shaped snout to help catch them. A crocodile has 7 jaw muscles. One is for opening, and the other 6 help the reptile snap its mouth shut. Crocodiles will clap their jaws when they feel threatened. If prey comes into contact, their jaws will snap shut. Their jaws are also packed with sensory organs, which help them detect water movement. What an amazing journey! I would highly recommend checking this exhibit out, because seeing a lot of not so creepy animals, including bats and crocodiles, can make your visit even better. Plus, I think the exhibit might be one of the many highlights this zoo has to offer, but we still have more to see on our epic journey through the Henry Dorley Zoo. Which exhibit at the Henry Dorley Zoo would you like to see next? If we visit the African grasslands, we'll see meerkats annoy a klipspringer, our first Nile monitor. Watch a giraffe getting fed by yours truly. See 5 playful baby elephants. Witness the return of the zebra, sable antelope, and eastern bongo, and even see a lion keeper chat. Our second choice is the Desert Dome, where we'll see hyraxes, playful dwarf mongooses, a black mamba, several species of monitor lizards, an ocelot, peccaries, roadrunners, rattlesnakes, turkey vultures, and even see a kookaburra do its signature laugh. Our final option is the award-winning Lee Jungle, where we'll see a baby gibbon, poison dart frogs, a swimming tapir, squirrel monkeys, lots of bats, a pygmy hippo, and even howling howler monkeys. Today's question is, if you were to add one animal to a zoo, which one would it be and why? Thank you for watching my videos, and I'll see you next time. You're smart, creative, and kind.